These are 24-inch long Simpson strong tie hurricane straps, and these are great straps for strapping and overlaying and tying, wrapping corners. Just holds everything together. So I use these in place of these smaller hurricane straps. I get all this stuff on Amazon because it's cheaper. I can buy them in bulk. The nice thing about these little small hurricane clips is Simpson strong tie on these guys just makes, as far as I know, they just make one angle. Online, when you find the knockoff ones on Amazon, which they're identical to the Simpsons, I mean, I don't see any difference in them. The crimps are the same and everything. You can get a left side, right side, which is so much more convenient, because sometimes you have space issues on studs where you've got to, you can only get one way in, and there's no way to make this work non-standard. So you really need the left side, right side, which is great. So that's why I really like these guys, and they're very affordable too. These areas like this, a lot of times these little small clips, I mean, you can, and I've got the wrong side there. Let me grab the right one. That's why I like the left hand, right hand versions of them. You need something continuous, because this area where I've got in between two windows, I don't have a lot of, I've got a couple continuous studs going all the way down, but there's a lot of cripple studs and little jack studs in here that are not continuous all the way up to my top plate, from the sill plate to the top plate. So I need a continuous bond with the metal clips. So these 24-inch ones make it easy, because I can tie it all the way up from my blocking up here on the end of the rafters down across the top plate. Carries this load all the way through. So pulling forces, if you can imagine, if you had a giant stand here and he was going to try to grab these two windows and lift the house, theoretically, if he was strong enough, he could just pop this whole cap right off the nails. But when you've got a continuous bond with these clips tying everything together, running all the way down to your sill plate, and in fact, the giant would be trying to lift up your whole house, which hopefully he couldn't do. So that's kind of the idea behind the wind shear, wind load clips and stuff like that. These little ones are great. You get into an area with all these little cripple studs, you'd have to be put one here, and then put the opposite side down here, and then one here, and then one down there. And I'll have to do that down here towards the bottom where I've got these cripple studs in here. But this makes it so much easier. I can just run one of these straps all the way through and nail it both sides, and that way I do have a running bond where nothing will pull apart. It's really, to me, it's kind of just look at it, common sense, think it through, going where do these areas do I need the different strips. So you just kind of look at it and you think, well, that's too busy to burn through 10 of these guys just for all this little area. So let's just run 2 straps right through here, and then once the sheathing's on top of it and everything, your sheathing's going to hold everything. This is kind of your fail-safe worst case scenario, that if you do get shock wind loads and stuff like that, it'll create a running bond to where when that shock 80 to 100 mile an hour wind gusts hit you, and we get those here, we seriously do. It's scary. That's why I'm reinforcing this house so much. But when those hit, that shock load doesn't cause anything to crack, pop, move, or you've just got all this extra bracing in. That's one of the benefits of it. Normal houses you would have an overhang, but this, we're going to have wraparound porches on it, so I didn't want an overhang. The roof pitch is 612 pitch. The porch pitch will be a lower pitch, so be somewhere between either be 212 or 312, just kind of depends. But we'll finish out the house. It's going to look a little goofy with no overhang initially, but porches will be phase 2, because we've got to get it built and get moved in it so we can get out of our other place, and then I'll come back in and do porches and that. It's just enough. I need to leave the metal overhang enough to where, you're not talking much. I'll leave the metal out maybe 6 or 8 inches. It'll look a little goofy for a time being until we get to it, but 6 or 8 inches overhang. When I come back in, I'll come back in with a header ledger board across the top, and we'll take off with ceiling joists for the porches, but I'll have joist hanger brackets that'll go in there. All the joists will sit in. You just have to adjust it for the height of your decking and everything, and then the next layer of metal will slide right up under there, and then you've got to do your flashing underneath the top main roof side, and then it needs to come out on top of the other. And since this will all be metal, I'll have to use the little foam inserts that block everything off, and polyurethane caulking, so you don't get wind that drives any rain back up in there and any potential leaks inside your house. So that's kind of the protocol and why we're doing this the way we're doing, with no overhang on it. So eventually it will have a big overhang. It will be an 8-foot porch wrapped all the way around. But for now, we've got to do it this way. It's going to make it easier for me.